just as we're doing this interview, there's a couple guys that I can think about that I know that are going to be going your track. There's a close family friend. He's a freshman in high school now. That's probably going to be an engineer looking to go to A&M. My son has expressed interest in doing it. I talked to you about that. It's a couple guys that I coach now that have expressed interest in doing similar tracks of what you did. Just if you can just say, one thing to help those guys, as far as, something that was a defining moment for you or something that you could say to them that would help them, what would that be?
Let me think. A defining moment. Well, I don't know if it was necessarily a defining moment, but as I picked up momentum and got better in school, I learned a lot of things. So for the kids that want to do engineering, and I wish I'd have known this my whole college career, in the state of Texas, you can take classes at any college and they transfer. So I started getting killed in calculus. By the time I got to calculus 4, I took that at Blinn.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a fraction of the cost. It was pass-fail. And it legally had to transfer over to my degree plan at Texas A&M. So it was cheaper. It was pass-fail. Didn't hurt my GPA. And it was. I wish I'd have done that with all my math and sciences. So that's the first one, is wise up to all the ways you can help yourself. If I'd have known better, I'd have taken all my physics, all my math, all that stuff at Blinn. Yeah. Rather than trying to weather the storm at it's same curriculum, same everything. It was
same but different.
It was 10% of the cost.
Yeah.
And so what I would do is in the summer, if you're a kid going to college and
jump on top of that.
If you're going to A&M and you're home for the summer, take some hard classes at Lone Star. Those are pass-fail. They have to transfer. They're cheap. You get them over with quickly, and those are tough classes. And if you don't do too hot in them, they don't hurt your GPA. So that's a good workaround that I learned, and it definitely helped me a ton.
Yeah, that is a good one right there.
The next one is get to know your professors. My first couple of years of college, I was in some really big classes. Sometimes 100 people in a class, and I didn't know any of my professors. They didn't know me. I was just a face in the crowd. And by the time I was a junior and senior in college, all my professors knew me by name. I had a relationship with them. If I needed anything or had any questions, I could go talk to them and get help from them. And just knowing people and being respectable and talking to them, that can definitely help you out in the long term too.
I think too, on the other end of that, when you have someone that truly cares about what they're doing, you're more apt to help them too, because hey, it means something to that guy. If that guy,
that's right.
All of these people, it was like me in college in math. I had a hard time with math from the day I can remember doing math until the day I didn't have to take any more math classes. I had trouble with doing math stuff, and I can remember meeting with teachers after school, working on math. High school, same thing. Then into college, I had to have a certain amount of maths. And just like you said, I knew, my other classes, I can get some A's in, but I knew that I'm shooting for a C. In those math classes, I'm giving everything I got to give, but I'm it's probably just gonna be a C, or D, which D was passing or whatever.
D for degree.
D for degree. And so, you talk to those people, you ask for help, you do the study sessions, even, sometimes, I would even apologize. I'm sorry, so sorry to bother you again, but I'm just trying to understand this concept, and so, I think, and I can honestly say, it was probably one class I don't know that I really passed it, you know.
Yeah.
But I think the professor was tired of seeing me. He was like, man, this guy, here he comes again. I got to get him out of here. I can't deal with it anymore, you know. So, you know, maybe that's why, you know, he gave me I passed by 1 point, you know.
But at the same time, too, I definitely learned more when I would, you know, go back and forth with the teachers.
No doubt.
You know, so I definitely did learn more. So it's you know, when you develop a relationship with your professor, and then you know, they get to know you, and then you also learn a lot from them. Another, you know, this is kind of hard for a lot of kids coming in. If you're used to high school, at least in my experiences at A&M, it's kind of like a culture shock for the way these classes are. A lot of professors, when they're teaching you, you know, they'll teach you 2 + 2 = 4, and then on the homework, it's okay if you had 100 divided by 50 + 3, you know, -4. So it's a little bit more complicated on the homework, and then you get to the test, and they want you to calculate how long it takes a baseball to get to the moon if you hit it at like 1,000 miles an hour. I mean, like, it's just like
it's 2 + 2, and that's what they gave you on the board too.
Yeah, that's what he did in class.
So you got to figure out all that stuff in between.
Yeah, and my point is that a lot of the learning is put on you, and you know, you have to take ownership of your own learning in college. So just be ready for that, and know that, you know, it's almost like the professors. Maybe they want to teach theory, which is good to know, good background knowledge. But then on the test, you have to actually calculate real stuff. So
you have to do that every day in your profession.
That's right.
Your degree.
And then another thing I learned, and this is you know, it's great to be rested for a test, right? That's what I thought going into college, and that's what most college kids thought. It's engineering students, freshman engineering students. You know, it's, if you've got a test, it's late at night. Okay, let me get, you know, some good sleep so I can think clearly when I wake up. Well, I found it's a lot better to be worn out and prepared for the test than fresh and not know how to do any of the questions. You know, that hopefully you're not quite as bad of a procrastinator as I was. I mean, a lot of it, you know, full schedule plus football, and a lot of times, you know, I have a pretty condensed schedule, and then the night before the test, that was a big time for me to study, and you know, I was totally willing and able to pull all-nighters. I would literally not sleep the night before the test. I'd study all night, and being completely drained, but knowing how to complete a lot of the curriculum and a lot of the questions, that's far better than you know, being rested and ready, or being rested and not ready at all. I mean, if you don't know how to do something, you don't know how to do it on a test. So,
period. Good sleep or not.
Yeah, that's right.
So you got to be prepared.
So be willing to sacrifice, but that actually probably was a turning point for me when I was like, okay, you know, if I gotta stay up all night, I gotta stay up all night. That was probably the turning point for me. Was, you know, it's not a way of looking at like, okay, I've studied, you know, X amount of time, so therefore I should be ready for the test. It's how long do I need to study to be ready for this test?
To have the knowledge to be ready for